Hey y'all, and welcome back. If you're new here, hello. My name is Fee Green, or you may better know me as the Green Nymph, and this here is my shop assistant, Biscotti, resident tiger boy, and all-around cutie. By day, I'm a full-time graphic designer who works on board games, and by night, I'm an illustrator and merch maker. I thought it would be fun to take you through what a working art day is like for me. Not every day is like this, but I thought today would be fun. Right now, I'm just getting some breakfast to start, and I don't always have breakfast. I know that's not great, but lately I've been trying to just because I find that it makes me feel and work better in the mornings. I like to eat lots and lots of fruit. So today I'm gonna go with an orange and a kiwi that I just washed. Plus, I know today's gonna be long, so I'm gonna add in some protein to keep me fuller longer with some rotisserie chicken. Now, don't let me fool you. I can pack away some rotisserie chicken. It's easy and so good. But I can also just as easily give myself a stomach ache. So I always need to watch how much I eat because I can eat a lot. Throughout this video, you will see my iPad in shots or me working on it a lot. I keep it with me almost everywhere I go. It really is my favorite thing. And now I'm just gonna grab some pear juice and head upstairs to start working. Today, I'm starting work in my office. Normally, I put on a TV show, movie, or a YouTube video in the background while working. I just like the white noise of it all. And today I'm also starting off with some really fun stuff. I've been super excited to start making different kinds of items for my shop, bring a couple of new goodies to y'all. This is going to be a Ghost Pokemon sticky notepad. At the time of me posting this video, I've already ordered them and they just came in. They look so great, I think. I'll start making more actually because these came out so good. I've never made something like this before, so I'm not gonna lie, it was really scary to spend my money on these not knowing the outcome, but I'm using the manufacturer's template for guides and die lines, and the proof they sent me looked good, so everything came out well in my opinion, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna create a couple of more and see how it goes. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really fun getting back into Pokemon, and it's kind of a long story as to why I had fallen out of it. Some of you may know why from what I've mentioned on Discord or if you've been in on my streams. Maybe I'll get into that in another video, not in this one. All I can say is that I was really, really deep into it as a kid during the Gen 1 era, and then I had something kind of traumatic happen to me. So yeah, a lot of these newer Pokemon I'm just starting to learn about, but it's generally been fun and I'm starting to heal that childhood trauma. Yeah, it's been good. It's been overall good. And back in my day, sounds so old when I say that, a lot of the Pokemon you would call ghost today were only considered psychic, which were overpowered as I think that's why I chose them when I played the TCG. They are still stupid strong, but now they have added other Pokemon that their moves and their actions balance that out. And I've been collecting the cards again after over a decade, and it's been making my heart so super happy, y'all. So super happy. I'll go to card shops and drop a hefty penny on some vintage cards from the 90s. Gen 1 is where my heart lies, but I am going to leave myself open to the new stuff. Since I've been collecting, I have a lot more newer cards, but I start to tear up a little when I see those vintage 90s cards. The reprints are okay too, but I like seeing the 1997, 1998 copyright at the bottom. It just gets me in my heart. And if you understood my story as to during my childhood as to what had happened to me, you'd understand why. And now, after coloring and cleaning up all the Pokemon here, I take the art into Photoshop and I do a little resizing in the template from the manufacturer, and I add a few extra little bits like stars. I drew everything here ever so slightly at a larger DPI to retain quality. And now I'm going in, I'm gonna just position and put them where I want and scale them a little bit. Small tip though, if you're working in Photoshop and you want to resize anything, make sure you convert it to a smart object first. This allows you to scale the art up or down and not lose any resolution. Because for example, if you didn't do this before scaling down the artwork and then you wanted to scale it back up, it would look super blurry and gross and all of the quality would be lost. It would not look the same. It would not look crisp. And that's not what we want. Next, I printed out a sample of the notepad at actual size to see how some of the stars and other elements would look. This is not for color. This is strictly just for scale. And when I do want to print something nice out for color, like for prints, I'll use my Canon Pro 300. But this is just a mock-up, so it really isn't worth wasting my good ink on. So I'm going to use my smaller inkjet printer for these, for now. And I'm going to start cutting out a few just to get a good look at the scale and probably make some notes on them. This is what they look like cut out at actual size. So now I'm going to take a look at these a little bit longer and see if there's anything that gets lost in the size. Maybe it's too small and maybe things need to get bigger. There are already a few areas I'm circling. Otherwise, I think they generally look good. I did make some adjustments and I reprinted and labeled the new versus the old to keep track of which version I had done. I think these are good to send to the manufacturer when I'm ready, but right now it's right about lunchtime and I kind of need food, so let's go get something to eat. It's a leftovers lunch kind of day. Gotta finish some of this Chipotle, and I was gonna add in some spaghetti, but well, it went bad, so I had to throw it out. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to making food. I can actually cook, but I don't like to because it just takes too much time, okay? And I like to eat immediately because I'm impatient. So what I pick to eat is mostly stuff I can eat with little prep. At this point, I've already finished my lunch. I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch me eat. No. And I really don't feel like going back up to my office to work. So instead, I'm going to actually pick the couch and continue my TV show, whatever that was, from there while working. And I'm getting a piece ready to color for my stream. And right now I'm inking. It's really easy for my brain to relax into. I don't need to work too hard, unlike coloring and shading, which requires more brain power, in my opinion. I know some people love inking, but really coloring is actually my favorite part. And that's because I feel like the piece really starts to take shape and come together with more feeling during the coloring phase. This particular piece has a cozy witch cottagecore kind of vibe. I'm still figuring out the color palette with this one, which I know you don't see here, but I like how it's generally coming along. I think I actually might have abandoned this piece, truthfully, because I just couldn't get the colors right. I couldn't get the depth of the colors, atmospheric kind of vibes right. It just wasn't working for me, but it was good background practice. You know, I liked doing, this was strictly to practice my backgrounds. And now you'll see, here's my little helper, Biscotti, coming in to check on me. He does this every now and again. He's our quality control expert for the shop. So if you have any issues with an item, please let us know because we want to correct it ASAP. Biscotti is very thorough and he wants to make sure he does a good job. And I think I've spent a long time here working, so I'm feeling like a snack. I think I deserve it at this point. And I think I'm gonna go make something, but first I need to actually head to the grocery store to grab a tomato because I'm making a tabbouleh salad. Also, I know this tomato is not a Roma one, which is traditionally used in a tabbouleh salad, so please, 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 don't come for me, please. This is what I have, this is what I'm working with. If there's anything you know about me, you'll know that about 90% of the time I'm drawing, there's always some sort of food, snack, or drink nearby. And I'll always be watching or working on my iPad, which is never too far from reach. And I've invested in an iPad Pro over any other drawing tablet because personally, I love the ability it has to be taken anywhere in my house. Or even better, if I go on vacation, I can easily bring it with me and work wherever, whenever. And Procreate has been a fantastic app for me to work in, not sponsored. And I don't need a subscription to use it since it's a one-time purchase that's super affordable. I think it was like, $20 max? It was $20 when I bought it, at least. And I know there are other digital painting programs out there, but this is what has worked best for me and fits my lifestyle as a very active person. I know Sai and Clip Studio Paint are common ones among other artists that are very powerful and can be really good. Procreate has a lot to offer itself. The interface or how things operate in them are a little bit different, but I still think it's how an artist uses the tools, not the actual tools themselves. But I personally, I just really hate needing to pay for more subscription services, so that's why I don't use Clip Studio. This is just a personal preference. If something else works better for you, by all means do that instead. This is just what works for me. But you want to know what? I've been thinking I really should get more into drawing traditionally again. I started off as a traditional artist because I couldn't afford any of the fancy digital tools when I was younger, like a lot of artists. But now that I can, I found it harder to go back. It's a skill like any other you need to practice, and I had sort of started using a sketchbook late last year to be more of a workbook to practice forms and other sort of stuff in. I wouldn't necessarily post this stuff, but I literally carried it around in a fanny pack that I strapped to my body, quite literally. And so it didn't give me much of a choice to not sketch when my sketchbook was, on my belly. But at some point, I stopped carrying it around, and really, I know I should get back into it. I really, really do. I kind of miss it, actually, and it sometimes... it makes my mark-making skills, more confident in general. I got the fanny pack, I think, at Lightbox Expo in 2024, just this past year, and I loved it so much. It's so nice. But the little metal emblem that was attached to it fell off, and I kept trying to glue it back on, but it just kept falling off, so every time I looked at it, it just made me sad. And I say this out loud, like... Let's be real. It just sounds more like an excuse to stop sketching. I'm gonna call a spade here. I'll try to get my butt back on sketching traditionally again. I know it's good for me and it's only gonna help me. I'll try to get back on that horse. We've done it again, y'all. This tabbouleh salad tasted so good, but it does need time to sit and absorb all these flavors, so I can't eat all of it just yet. I'm gonna clean up real quick and put the scraps in our composter, and then it's off to more drawing. So I was feeling kind of grimy, and I decided to take a quick shower, which is why my hair looks wet in this shot. But we're back to drawing, and I wanted to feel cozy because truthfully, I'm not really feeling super great right here at this point. I can feel a migraine coming on, so I'm working from my bed, as best as I can, wrapped in my comfort Kirby blanket. This is actually my half of a trade with Eclipse in my Discord. This is of one of their D&D characters. And I don't normally do trades, or rather, I'm really picky about who I do trades with because of past experiences. But if I feel like the other person is genuine and can put forth the same amount of effort I put in, and we agree on a lot of certain things, hash out some stipulations more or less, I'll give it a shot. But this is not something I do very often. But I actually really like how this came out, and I had a lot of fun with this. And that's pretty much my day. Obviously, every day is different, like I mentioned, and I work on a ton of different things. So if you'd like to see more art studio vlogs, let me know, and maybe what you'd like to see more of, whether that be artwork that I do or maybe some merch stuff that I work on. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to support what I do or just want to see more art content in general, I have all my links in the description box below. So until next time, y'all.